The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and/or future. Good morning, afternoon, evening. My name is Ron Chuckett. Welcome to the program for this 12th day of June 2025. We go back to August 4th, 1956 for this Saturday afternoon game in the rain in Cleveland. Just doesn't rain on the plane directly going to Spain, but it'll be the Boston Red Sox and Cleveland Indians for you. The Indians and the White Sox are in that 5-team battle royale with the Tigers, Yankees, and, oh yeah, the Boston Red Sox, who seem to be dropping off the pace a bit, which is about what we expected. The Indians have not. The 1954 champions looking to make their second World Series in 3 years and maybe actually win one along the way. Are pretty much, I think, either tied with or within a game of the White Sox. Oops. They will go with early win today in the game that I would expect them to win with win. I forgot who I was pitching for the Red Sox, but I'm managing them, so you never know what's going to happen. Ted Williams is playing today. How about that? Doesn't happen every day, apparently, in 1956. So we close out the week, Father's Day weekend coming up. The Indians and the Red Sox on a soggy day in Cleveland. Next. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1956. Today, from Cleveland's Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it is the Cleveland Indians and the Boston Red Sox. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, wherever else fine podcasts are listed. So, Tom Sullivan. It's very nice of that notification to pop up just as I got on the screen. So early win, Tom Sullivan demos how Betty White said it's hot in Cleveland, not rainy. It is hot in Cleveland. It's 85 degrees. Betty is right, although I'm more of a Valerie Bertinelli guy. Winds blowing in from that ocean out there in left center at 5 miles an hour, and it is a light rain falling here in Cleveland. Early win gets the call for the Tribe at 56-43. This is game 100 for Cleveland. Early is 36 years old. I guess for a career that would be late. Throws a fastball at 81 and is a ground ball pitcher. Making his 23rd to 35 starts, he has had a monster replay. His 14 wins leads the American League. 14-7 at 2.95. ERA for early. Well, actually, he'll have his best year in 1959. Last pitched on the 31st, so 5 days ago. The Yankees beat him 7-3 in 7 innings, 126 pitches, 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 3 home runs. The Yankees actually hit him for 3 home runs back in June, too. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Wynn having a very good year, 176 2/3. 148 hits, 62 runs, 58 earned, 19 homers, but to be fair, a lot of those have come from the Yankees. 45 walks and 102 strikeouts. Yeah, Rod Stewart saying some guys have all the luck, but I'd say Eddie Van Halen had pretty good. Oh, yeah. 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 Hot in Cleveland for a reason. So, and anyway, early win has struck out 102. So we all got that image of Valerie in our head? Yes. All right, lineup for the Red Sox today. Billy Goodman leads off at second base. Billy Klaus at third will bat second. Ted Williams in left will go third. Mickey Vernon with a V cleans up at first. Jackie Jensen in right will bat fifth. Jimmy Pearsall in center goes sixth. Sammy White behind the plate batting seventh. Don Budden at short batting eighth. And it's Frank Sullivan, not Tom Ron. You should know better. On the mound batting ninth, an early win can give you 135 pitches. On the mound for Cleveland, the defense for Boston, Ted Williams a 4 and a 4 in left. Jimmy Pearsall a 9 and an 8 in center. Jackie Jensen is a 7 and a 7 in right. How you doing? Oh, it's John in Parallel League. How are you? Billy Klaus is 6 at third. Don Budden is 6 and a 7 at short. Billy Goodman a 5 and a 7 at second. Mickey Vernon a 7 at first. Sammy White an 8 and a 7 behind the plate. And Sully, you know what? I gave the wrong defense. It's Cleveland's defense we want to see first. Gene Woodling a 6 and a 3. Really, Ron, you've only been doing this for almost 7 years. Gene Woodling a 6 and a 3 in left. Jim Busby a 9 and a 7 in center. Rocky Colavito is back for Cleveland. Look out, oh, Rocky's back. A 6 and a 9 there. Al Smith a 4 at third. Harry Squell a 6 and a 7 at short. Bobby Avila a 6 and a 6 at second. Vic Wirtz a 5 at first. Hal Narragong, Bengagon, a 2 and a 2 behind the plate, and that's great in Strat, but not in Action PC. Early win is an 8 on the mound with a 955 fielding percentage. How you doing, Paul and Andy? And it's good to take Valerie one day at a time for more enjoyment. Finish up your 2024 replay this morning, visiting 85 Strat, Cards and Dice, Good and Tudor replay. Good, that should be fun. Valerie has me all sort. Yeah, I can't believe I screwed that one up. Billy Goodman leading off at 257, no homers and 30 RBI, and to continue along that line, this is it. Pitch to Goodman. There's a ground ball to Avila. Over to Wirtz, 1 away. So John asked a few days ago, and he wasn't there yesterday, Billy Klaus at 260, 6 homers and 43 RBI. Do you like rainouts? Do I like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain? Do I like rainouts in a playoff series? And I gave him a one-word answer, which is no. Pitch to Klaus, ball 4. I understand why people do it, but people are paying me to do a ball game, and they're paying for 9 innings. Why, I don't know, but that's what they do. Ted Williams at 293. 13 homers and 48 RBI, which means that Ted has underperformed. Game 101 for the Red Sox and 100 for the Indians, by the way. Pitch to Ted is got away from him, and Klaus is going to try it. Narragon fumbles it around the throw down, and Klaus moves to second on the wild pitch. So 1-0 count. And again, going back to there's no wrong way to play. If I'm taking the time to pull out 2 teams or finish a project, you wouldn't stop a football game early, would you? Or a basketball game or a track meet or whatever it is. Why would you do that in baseball? I think sometimes we get kind of caught up in what we're doing and realize we're playing a game. And if I care enough to get far enough into something to want to do a postseason or finish up a project, I'm want to invest the time into what I'm doing. And so no, I have rain. Can have rain delays in this, but I've shut out rain outs. If I'm pulling out 2 teams here to play, I am playing it all the way through. Doesn't mean that you can respect the bullpens or anything like that, but I don't want that decision on a rainout to come off a rare play check off a chart. I'm playing the game. Pitch to Williams. There's a little looper right to Wirtz, and Klaus has to go back to second. Again, there's no wrong way to play, but that's just my view. I asked because I had a stupid ghost runner in your extra inning World Series game too. What I changed the rules before Game 3. I noticed it was an option even for the playoffs. I would want a ghost runner for the playoffs. I like the rule in general. I need to switch my video games to retirement advice. I watch some of those and they get 10,000 views in just a few days. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I was a little annoyed that the ghost runner wasn't automatically shut off for the playoffs. Yeah, and I think what Action PC tries to do, John, is it just uses the same rules all the way through. You know, Ron. No, Ron. Uh-oh. This is what happens when you meet people in an alley from the internet in a parking garage. No, Ron. There is only one way to play. The right way to play. Or else. I'm awake now. 2 out, Mickey Vernon hitting .257, 6 homers, and 53 RBI. Pitch to Mickey, ball 4. People who come in and that are new or find me must think I am some sort of deranged idiot. My wife will tell you that that's the case. Jackie Jensen at .292, 15 homers, and 67 RBI. The person yesterday who asked just as we were signing off whether I'd ever done professional broadcasting, I did in college. Tells you just how far I went. I actually have done college basketball. I like calling basketball on the radio. I just wish it streamed better. Pitch to Jensen. Jackie pops this one up, left side. Smith waits in the rain and will make the catch, and he drops it. Al Smith dropped it. How about that? And everybody's safe. That was a pop-up. There's not much wind, and Smith just squeezed the glove, and the ball bounced out. For Jimmy Pearsall, got a reprieve from the governor there. Bases loaded, 2 out. Klaus on third, Vernon on second, Jackie Jensen on first. Jimmy at .256, 10 homers, and 40 RBI. How you doing, Bobby? And Big Dave? Think inspired by the 75 World Series rainouts and the 89 earthquake. I'm going to turn on rainouts for the future postseason. I get it. I completely get it. I'd much rather in 81 they had a couple rainouts too. If you give them the extra rest. But, once we get started, I'm playing to the finish. Remember the quote from the Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. I noticed they didn't ask me if I had a singing career. I'm going to buy some auto-tune, okay? Then you'll be able to tell that. No, in a previous life, I was a crooner, right? Moon River. Pitch to Pearsall is a base hit left center field. Klaus will score all the way to the wall. Vernon scores, and Jensen scores. That error is huge as Jimmy Pearsall clears the bases on his 24th double of the year. And you will get 3 RBI on that. 3 unearned runs for early win here in the first. For Sammy White, hitting .252, 4 homers, and 46 RBI. I think that's Parallel League's way of saying that if I was on the Gong Show, I'd get gonged. Is that right? You missed out on seeing me sing in person. My wife would trade you for the opportunity, I'm sure. Pitch to White. There is a line drive that's going to drop in front of Colavito in right field. Pearsall around third. Rocky has a good arm, but it is caught off by Avila, and that's the 4th unearned run of the inning. Next time. Andrew, just tell me what you want me to sing. Don Budden at 234. Andy says, I'm not showing up again for that. 5 homers and 44 RBI. Someone on Facebook said, as played all the way. I asked, so when you're doing 75, don't give teams extra days off? And he didn't reply. No. And again, you really can't do as played for the playoffs because there's no guarantee that you're going to get there. And the thing with a short series like that is that they never go the way you think they're going to go. I found out that with your Delphi replay. Yep. Unless you wore a paper bag and told jokes. That's true. I could be the unknown sitting comic. And it's supposed to rain on Saturday again. Well, we do live in Vermont. Don Budden at 234, 5 homers and 44 RBI. 4 unearned runs here in the first for Boston. Budden pops it up. Carrasquel waits for it in the rain, and Chico is the man and makes the catch. So, the Red Sox get gifted 4 runs on 2 hits and a big error by Al Smith. And after half an inning here in Cleveland, it's Boston 4, Cleveland coming up. So Frank Sullivan has been gifted 4 runs. He's 26 years old, fastball at 85, and a ground ball pitcher. 14-4 on the replay, 22nd of 33 starts. and a 3.86 ERA. He is second in wins in the American League. He last pitched on the 30th. He beat the Tigers 7-4. 8 innings, 111 pitches, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He walked 3 and 2 strikeouts. He's thrown 165 in the third innings, 184 hits, 89 runs, 71 of them earned, 19 homers. He's walked 50 and struck out 82. We've set the Red Sox defense for you because, Valerie, I'm the same boy I used to be. Bobby Avila leads off at second base for Cleveland. Gene Woodling in left will bat second. Al Smith, who just made that huge error at third, will bat third. Vic Wertz cleans up at first. Good to see Rocky Colavito back in the lineup and up from wherever Cleveland played AAA in 56. He'll bat fifth and right field. Jim Busby in center goes sixth. Hal Narragon behind the plate batting seventh. Harris Squell at short goes eighth. Early Wynn will bat ninth, and Sullivan can give you 145 pitches. And I think the only thing we didn't tell you is that Sully's at 8 with a .981 fielding percentage. Avila at 216, 5 homers and 24 RBI. Singing on your OnlyFans channel will certainly raise your profile. Oh, God. So do I just sit there naked in the chair with the bag on my head? Maybe jump out of a birthday cake? Happy birthday to you. To make extra money during the holidays, I can rent myself out as a Vermont teddy bear. They, by the way, and Andy can vouch for this, have opened up an outlet store on the marketplace. Perhaps Emily will sing along with me. I think I've told you this before. Pitch to Avila is a fly ball to right. Jensen will make the play, 1 out. By the time that I got into the 5th grade, Gene Woodling at 264, 7 homers and 22 RBI, that my singing was so renowned at Pontley Elementary School that they made me the narrator for the school Christmas concert for my class because I sang that well. So there was no idol in Simon Cowell to give me a dirty look. Pitch to Woodling. Popped up White to the screen, and Sammy will let that hit the screen. So 2-strike count, 1 out. For Woodling, Sully deals. Woodling hits a hard ground ball to Goodman. Quick throw to Vernon, and Gene is retired 2 away. For Al Smith, who owes Cleveland a lot after that start, hitting .251, 5 homers and 41 RBI. I pretended to be insulted by not having to sing Rudolph and all that. Pitch to Smith. Struck him out, so Sullivan threw 1, an 0-2 fastball, got him swinging. Swung over it after 1. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Boston 4, Cleveland nothing. So, Early Wynn, who, again, did not give up an earned run in the first, faced 9-1-2 here. Sully at 107. Sounds like an FM dial, doesn't it? No homers and 2 RBI. Maybe Betty White was hot in Cleveland, but Betty White was hot wherever she was. So that's what Alan Luddenskos told me. Pitch to Sully. Struck him out first for Wynn. A 2-2 fastball got him looking. Opening 9 for Wynn. 29 pitches. 9 batters. Hitting in the third. 2 hits, 2 walks and a strikeout, and 4 unearned runs. Billy Goodman is 0 for 1. That is a laced to Wertz. He'll take it to the bag himself. 2 out. For Klaus, who walked and scored. Right back to Wynn. First base side throws to Wertz, and Billy is retired. He wasn't a hero. After an inning and a half, no runs, no hits, no errors this time around for Boston, but they do lead Cleveland 4-0. So Wertz, Colavito, and Busby to face Sullivan here in the second. Wertz at 255, 28 homers, and 78 RBI. Fly ball, right field. Jensen retreating, makes the catch, 1 out. Rocky Colavito, welcome back, hitting .299, 14 homers and 31 RBI. Sullivan winds and fires. Rocky in the left field. Back goes Williams, and it is a 4-1 game. Colavito found the seats in left field, and Cleveland is on the board. I wonder what the deal was with them, because he'd be traded in a few years, and people still think that was one of the worst things that Cleveland has ever done. So Williams just knew. I mean, that ball was flying out, hit it into that wind, and Rocky got enough of that to put the Indians on the board. So 4-1 to score. Here's Busby at .232, 11 homers and 45 RBI. See, Andy, that's the right thing to do. Your daughter lip synced at her elementary school concerts back in the day. That's the right thing to do. Do you really think that you could hear your own voice in that? No. There was people in my class who could sing. I just wasn't one of them. Nice Todd Beat. Nice to see Cleveland Stadium empty. No, there's 25,000 people there. Just like he remembers it. Pitch to Busby. Fly ball. Shallow right center, or back right center. Jensen will make the catch. 2 out for Narragon. Hal at .333. 2 homers and 7 RBI. I probably wasn't clever enough to think of that, Andy. Walked him. And after we got out of the 6th, trust me, once we got into junior high, that was it for me with the public singing. Little did I know that, let's see, would have been 1982. So let's do some quick math. 2018, so 28 and 18 is, 36 years later or whatever, that I would not only have something called YouTube, but I would occasionally sing on it, and sing badly. Chico Carrasquel at .242, 9 homers and 45 RBI, sitting on an 8-game hitting streak. And he now has a 9-game hitting streak as he punches that one in the left center. Williams, they're going to try to get Narragon at third to throw to Klaus, and Billy's in there, or Narragon's in there. So runners on the corners for Early win. Early, a good hitter at .328 and 5 RBI. Paul. No, you could sing, Ron. Folks just didn't appreciate what you brought to the stage. Trust me, in the 5th grade, I wasn't working on a Scully. Pitch to win. Early popped it up. Klaus and Budden. And Billy makes the catch, and that will do. Indians get a run on the solo homer from Colavito and 2 hits. And after 2 here in Cleveland, Boston 4, Cleveland 1. So Williams, Vernon, and Jensen to face Wynn. Williams is 0 for 1. How you doing, Mike in the truck? You know, the interesting thing is that if you know how to use your voice, you should be able to sing. And I do have a radio-type voice, but that doesn't mean I can throw 2 notes together. Pitch to Williams, and Teddy draws the walk. I can throw 2 notes together if they're just off-key. Mickey Vernon walked and scored in the 1st. Right back to Wynn. He goes to Avila for 1, Warts for 2. A 1-4-3 double play. Well done early. First base side, he flung it right down to Bobby, who threw a direct strike to Wirtz. 2 out for Jackie Jensen, who reached on that huge error in the 1st. Greg wants Early to settle down. None of those runs are earned, Greg. That was all on the error by Al Smith. Pitch to Jensen. That's a base hit left center field, so Jackie is playing quite well. And here is Jimmy Pearsall, who cleared the bases on a double his first time up. Now is driven in 43. Up the middle, base hit. Jensen on his way to third. Busby, what's he going to do? Throw to third, and Jackie is in there. So runners on the corners for Sammy White, who singled his first time up. Red Sox now have 4 hits. To second, Avila over to Wirtz, and the Red Sox threaten but do not score. They'll leave on 2, no runs, 2 hits. They've left on 3 overall. So early win has worked hard, but the ERA is unblemished. After 2.5, Boston 4, Cleveland 1. So Avila, Woodling, and Smith to face Sully here in the third. Bobby 0 for 1. Sullivan, 9 batters, 25 pitches, 2 innings, 2 hits, the solo shot from Colavito, a walk and a strikeout. Early was one of the Blue Jays' early color guys on radio. Yeah, I vaguely remember hearing that. I would have been too young to have heard him. The Expos for a long time had Duke Snyder, which I'm sure some of you knew. Pitch to Avila, struck him out. That's 2 for Sullivan. A 1-2, got him looking. Gene Woodling 0 for 1. And he draws the walk. So 1 out walk for Al Smith, who struck out his first time up. Line drive, third base side, and George Hendrick made that catch. Dropped it, but he made the catch. 0-2 the count. Struck him out. So Smith just having a bad day at the office. That 3-run error essentially now has struck out twice. He looked at an 0-2. Off speed, 2 out for Wirtz is 0 for 1. Vic walked. So first and second, 2 out for Colavito, who homered his first time up. Duke worked with the Expos for many years. Yes, he did. As Jackie Robinson and Drysdale did at times on TV. Robinson actually worked national games with ABC in '65. And Drysdale was unappreciated as an announcer. Todd B. all excited now. However, he's not one of my top fans today. Pitch to Colavito. There's another fly ball to left. Back goes Williams. That is well struck. But is it going to run out of real estate? Yes, it is. And Teddy put down the fishing pole and made the catch. That looked better off the bat than it did in the glove. No runs, no hits. Cleveland strands 2. And after 3, it is the Red Sox 4 and the Indians 1. Budden 0 for 1. Sullivan and Goodman here to face early win in the 4th. It's a nice stadium. It is a nice picture, isn't it? The community has done some nice work. Pitch to Budden is a ground ball to Carrasquel. Over to Wirtz. 1 out. Frank Sullivan struck out his first time up. And he goes down again. An 0-2 fastball swung on and missed, and that will be 2 out. Opening 18 for Wynn. 61 pitches, 3 2/3, 4 hits, 4 unearned runs. He has walked 3 and struck out 2. Goodman is 0 for 2. To Avila, Bobby throws to Wirtz, and they'll take care of the Red Sox in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 4th, Boston 4, Cleveland 1. So the standings, Cleveland a game and a half behind Chicago. Detroit a half game back. The Yankees, after choking away a sure win yesterday, are still 4.5 out, and the Red Sox are 7 out. Their chances look longer and longer all the time. The National League, the Dodgers, after 99 games, are 71 and 28. 14 up on Milwaukee. That's about all you can say about that. Jim Busby 0 for 1. As one of the kids that saw many games from the left field bleachers, Greg said we were lucky enough to get to know Larry Doby, who would come out and talk to his kids. That's nice. The games, yep. And Toby, the only thing missing from that photo was a scratch-to-sniff patch that smells suspiciously like burnt rope. Todd's not bitter or anything. Pitch to Busby. Base hit left center field. Pearsall will come in and cut it off to throw to second. And Busby, boy, he gambled and got his 17th double of the year. For Hal Narragan, who walked his first time up. Burnt rope. Oy and vey. Pitch to Narragan. There's a ground ball to Budden. Over to Vernon for the out. So 1 out for Carrasquel, who singled his first time up. Pitch to Chico into center field. Pearsall banks the catch. Busby holds. I was going to tag there. So I was watching some of Gardner's APA game last night. Is it me? Early win, by the way, 0 for 1. Or did APA just make up a bunch of nicknames? I had no idea that Danny Darwin's nickname was Dr. Death. That's what it was when he pitched at Fenway. However, why they thought a fly ball pitcher would work at Fenway Park is beyond me. And I forgot what they chose for a nickname for Don Baylor. But it was something I'd never heard of before. Pitch to early win. There's a ground ball past Vernon down the line and right. Jensen's going to have to go fish it out. Busby's going to score. Vernon's going to have, or Wynn's going to have extra bases. Jensen gets it. Busby makes it 4-2. An early win. Stands on second base with his 8th double of the year. So a 2-out single cuts the lead to 2, 4-2. Wynn, they roll out the oxygen mask for him. Avila, 0 for 2. He has struck out 1. Sully, 59 pitches, 18 batters, 3 2/3, 4 hits. The home run to Colavito. He has walked 3 and struck out 3. Wynn says he's ready. Here's the pitch. That is up the middle, and that's a base hit. Wynn around third and has to go back. So Sullivan has kind of lost the script here in the 4th. Gene Woodling 0 for 1 with a walk. So Wynn on third. Avila on first. 2 out. Dr. Death and the Botham Bullet. Oh, really? How you doing, Dave? I had never heard of Dr. Death before. Mr. Dave had a 21-inning game. I think the longest one I ever had was like 16, 17 innings. And your voice is just gone after that. Walked him, and the bases are loaded now for Al Smith, who was overdue. He had the big error that caused 4 runs to score for Boston in the first. And he has struck out twice. 2 out. Sullivan on the ropes here. Wynn on third. Avila on second. He's the tying run, and Woodling the go-ahead run on first. Sully deals. Popped up. Popped him up. High, Skyer and Klaus on the grass will make the catch, and the Indians leave them loaded. They get a run on 3 hits and no errors. They're left on 7. We go to the 5th. Boston 4, Cleveland 2. So Klaus, Williams, and Vernon, 3 straight lefties to face early Win here in the 5th. Klaus walked and scored in the first. A 21-inning game. At some point, usually about the 13th or 14th inning, I'm just ready for someone to score and it to be over. Pitch to Klaus. Laces that one foul. And that is out of play. 0-2 the count. Wind deals. That is laced into left field in front of Woodling. In fact, it gets past Gene, and Klaus has his 21st double of the year. So that's the 5th hit for Boston. Ted Williams is 0 for 1 with a walk. You were 2. 21 innings. And because David was doing a 79 season, it only took 5 hours and 15 fake minutes. We had the game 1 of the 88 World Series that we did, so last year, was a 16-inning game. 16 innings. I think it was the longest postseason game ever. At the time, one on the walk-off sac fly. And I think that one registered at close to 6.5, 7 hours. Ben and Joe were on well past Saturday Night Live for that. Pitch to Williams, and they're going to walk him. For Vernon, Mickey has walked, grounded into a double play, and scored in the first. When did they start having graduations from 2nd grade? Seriously? My grandson is a 2nd grade graduation tonight as he's... Oh, usually, see, I think I was one of the last classes not to do a 6th grade graduation, and we didn't do an 8th grade graduation. Space Cowboy. Well, you might see a postseason game go 16 innings. So maybe because you're going into another... What do they do? K through 2 in one building and 3 through 5 in another? That's nuts. How the hell do you do a little cap and gown for a 2nd grader? Mickey Vernon, as we said, 0 for 1 with a walk. First and second, pitch to win. That is going to work. Carrasquel, Avila, and no, Vernon's going to reach. I thought they were going to turn it, and they do not. So Williams erased on the 6-4 fielder's choice. For Jackie Jensen, 1 for 2. Jackie has singled and scored. Klaus on third, Vernon on first. Triple G, how'd you shoot? Pitch to Jensen. There's a ground ball to third. Smith, they're going to get 2 here, I would think. Klaus trotting home. Avila for 1 and Wirtz for 2, and the run does not score. So the Red Sox threaten and can't do anything with it. Halfway home on a beautiful 72-degree day here in Burlington. Boston 4, Cleveland 2. Nope, no Ghost Runner in the postseason. K through 2 in one and 3 to 6 in another. And it took exactly 6 hours of fake minutes. Here's how we got here in this one. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. 2 runs, 5 hits, an error for Cleveland. Boston got those 4 in the first. Jimmy Pearsall, after an Al Smith error, doubled the bases clear to make it 3-0. And then Sammy White singled to score Pearsall to make it 4-0. Cleveland is chipped away. Rocky Colavito homered to left center in the second, his 15th, to make it 4-1. Then Early Wynn doubled home Busby in the fourth to make it 4-2. Sullivan, 4 innings, 5 hits for Boston, 2 runs both earned. The home run to Colavito, he's walked 4 and struck out 3. Early Win, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, none earned. He has walked 4, including Williams intentionally, and struck out 2. Wirtz is 0 for 1. 1 ahead of your career triples. My daughter hit a triple in her softball game last night. Oh, nice. I've never hit a triple. So Triple G shot in 87 on soft greens and Oakmont rough. Wertz 0 for 1 with a walk. Oh, yeah, 2 triples? That's nice. Wertz line drive to Goodman, 1 out. Makes a leaping catch for that first out. So, no, playoff games are old school rules. No ghost runners for that. You got to win them outright. Rocky Colavito homered in the second and flew out in the fourth. He's 1 for 2. So Paul celebrating the fact that he still has more triples than his daughter. You rotten person, you. You hate wearing long sleeves when you golf? Yeah, I mean, golf shirts are made for short sleeves. And I know that probably takes 20, 30 yards off your drive. And that's your story, and you're sticking to it, right? Greg says, I didn't hit many triples myself. I was quick, but not what you would call fast. It takes a lot to leg out a triple. I mean, you're running in a baseball field 270 feet. Pitch to Colavito. Rocky draws the walk. Triple G agrees. You think of it this way. If you round the bases, that's more than a football field. That's 120 yards. Jim Busby, 1 for 2. That hit is a double. So if you're running 270, that's 90 yards. How many people could have run that in high school and not gotten winded? Pitch to Busby. That's a ground ball to Goodman. They get Colavito for 1 and Busby for 2. A 4-6-3 double play. Sullivan's through 5. No runs, no hits, no errors. Cleveland loses it on the double play. We go to the 6th. Boston 4, Cleveland 2. On your second triple, he actually cut it too short and tripped. And Andy says he turned a bunch of potential triples into doubles. I think we've all done that. I turned a triple into a single once. No one ever confused Triple G with being fast. Exactly. That's why you end up, if you played high school football, playing lineman. Jimmy Pearsall has a single. That double cleared the bases in the first and drove in 3. And then your daughter is a sprinter in track. Well, Mom has good genes then, right? Pitch to Pearsall. Jimmy swings, fly ball, right field. Colavito has it for the out. Yeah, but can she stripe it 220 down the fairway like you can before you hit the 9th hole and the beer truck? Sammy White, 1 for 2. He has a single and an RBI. And I gave up one of the longest home runs my dad said he ever saw. A playoff game walk-off. Oh. So you are not, it's a good thing you don't live in the town you grew up in, because you'd never be allowed in that dive bar ever again. She did not get her speed from you, Triple G, okay? Greg, bragging of course, says, I played third base because of quickness and good hands. And they called you All-State. Pitch to White. Sammy 1 for 2. Ground ball to third. Smith has it. Long throw to Wertz. And Sammy's retired. Was it Space Cowboy that was asking if I was had ever done professional broadcasting before? Don Budden is 0 for 2. Red Sox up 4-2, 2 out, top the 6th. Drops one down. Nope, he didn't. He just check swing foul, and the count is 1-2. Fly ball right center. Colavito will track it down and end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 6th here on a rainy night in Cleveland, or rainy day in Cleveland. 88 degrees. As a matter of fact, Red Sox 4, Indians 2. So Narragon, Carrasquel, and Wynn that face Sullivan here in the 6th. Hal has walked. He's 0 for 1. Ground ball to third. Klaus. Long throw. 1 out. Inside first pitch to a lefty. He turned on it. Still going up as it cleared the right field. Yeah, you just know. You just know. You just know. If Triple G remembers this, when Lee Brandt gave up Kirby Puckett's home run in Game 6, he was, I think, over the third baseline by the time that Puckett's ball cleared the wall. You just know. Chico 1 for 2. He is singled. Pitch. Ground ball again to Klaus. Second verse. Can be the same as the first. Yeah, it is. Good throw. And Vernon stays on the bag. 2 out for Early win. Early has an RBI double in this one. Now it's driven in 6 and hit 8 doubles. 1 for 2. With Greg's blazing speed, he would remain the 6th man on a 4-man relay team. Oh, you're 1 ahead of me, Gungadin. Pitch to Early is again up the middle for a base hit. Past Pearsall all the way to the wall. An Early win has 2 doubles on the day. That's his 9th double of the year and 2nd on the afternoon. And again, they roll out the oxygen tent for Early. As we tell you, Bobby Avila is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Sullivan, 27 batters, 87 pitches, 5 2/3, 6 hits, the home run to Colavito. He has walked 5 and struck out 3. Yet you gotta love pitchers who can hit. It was a lost start, and it was a lost start a long time ago. Pitch to Avila. There's a base hit, left center field. Williams will pick it up. Wynn will round third and score, and it's a 4-3 ball game. Thing is, with the Red Sox, they have no pen. Here's Woodling. Gene is 0 for 1. He has walked twice. Bob Gibson was your guy. There was a conversation on the unofficial official strat boards about pitcher hitting cards and pitchers who can hit. And so if I told you that, is there a list of pitchers who had a pitcher's hitting card of 8 or a 7 they've done that work. An 8 pitcher hitting pitcher in strat is Rod Carew, for crying out loud. Pitch to White and Sullivan have a word. Woodling swings, ground ball to first. Vernon takes the bag himself, and we're through 6. Cleveland gets a run, however, on 2 hits and no errors. Go to the 7th. Red Sox 4, Indians 3. So Sullivan, Goodman, and Klaus to face Wynn here in the 7th. Frank has struck out twice. That is into left center field, and that will drop in front of Gene Woodling. So the pitchers today are a combined 3 of 6. 27 batters deep for Early Win. 93 pitches, 6+ innings, 6 hits, 4 unearned runs, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Billy Goodman is 0 for 3. Sully on first. Walked him. It's not what you want to do with the heart of the Red Sox order coming up. Here's Klaus. Billy doubled and walked. He's 1 for 2 and scored a run. If you're a Red Sox fan, and apparently 63% of you are today, you're rooting for an insurance run. If you're a Cleveland fan, well, then you're Todd B. Pitch to Klaus. There is a ground ball to Chico Carrasquel. Might be 2. Avila for 1. Nope, they're not going to get him. No throw to first, and no place to put Teddy Ballgame as Sullivan's on third with 1 out, and Klaus on first. Williams 0 for 1, a conventional walk and an intentional walk. 4-3, Boston 1 out. Top of the 7th. A roller to Wirtz, who will try for 2. Sullivan scampers home. Carrasquel for 1, and Williams will reach as Klaus with a roll-block slide prevented the throw. And it's a 5-3 game. So Williams picks up the RBI on the fielder's choice. 2 out for Vernon, 0 for 2. He has walked, scored, and grounded into a double play. Red Sox Nation, Nashville chapter. There you go. Catfish Hunter was paid extra for his hitting by the A. So it wasn't Blue Moon Odom, wasn't he? But after the DH was introduced, Charlie O took the money away. Of course he did. I think Charlie, Finley was a poor man's Bill Veeck. He understood that fans needed something, but he was too cheap to actually spend the money. How you go to 3 straight World Series and go cheap is beyond me. Pitch to Vernon. There's a chopper down to second. Avila throws to Wirtz. Stretch time, 5-3 Boston. Yep, Odom actually was a good hitter. Smith, Wirtz, and Colavito, speaking of good hitters here for Cleveland in the 7th. Al 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. So Catfish Todd was indeed, okay, you get a cookie, catfished. Sullivan starts the 7th with a 2-run lead. And Al Smith draws the walk. They were in Division 5 straight years in a row. Yep. 71 through 75. Not sure anyone in the American League was beating the Orioles in 71. And I just think that they had fought enough by 75 they didn't care. And let's give the Red Sox a little bit of credit for being good. They did take what is considered to be one of the all-time great teams to the 9th inning of Game 7 of the World Series. I think Wirtz is 0 for 2 with a walk. As the late Joe Morgan would tell you, the Reds did win that World Series. Yes. Fly ball left field. Williams. 1 out. Odom could pitch, absolutely, and was used as a pinch runner. 1 out for Colavito. Rocky has walked, homered in the 2nd, and is 1 for 2. Rocky now has 15 homers on the replay and driven in 32. Hard ground ball to 3rd. Klaus trying for Colavito. And Rocky's out by an eyelash on the bang-banger, 2 out. So Smith with good speed on 2nd. Here's Busby. Jim has a double today and a run scored. Also grounded into a double play. He is 1 for 3. I don't know what didn't happen in Oakland for Finley. I mean, he tried to, for years, to get that team out of Kansas City, and then within 10 years was screaming to get out of Oakland. After this, you'll be watching Game 48 of the 78 replay of Baltimore at Milwaukee. This should be a good one. Both teams are quite good. Better base runner than the gimmick that was Herb Washington. Yep. Busby. Fly ball, shallow right center. Pearsall makes the catch, and Cleveland doesn't do anything with it. They'll strand a runner. No runs, no hits, no errors after the walk after 7-5-3 Boston. So Jensen, Pearsall, and White to face Wynn. And remember, the computer's running the Indians. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and the Red Sox have left on 5. Cleveland, 3 runs, 7 hits, and error, and they've left on 9. Jensen, 1 for 3, singled, because I can talk, scored, and grounded into a double play. What was the trade that was next? Joe Rudy and Raleigh Fingers to Boston, and I forget who was going back. If that trade had been allowed, it may not have benefited them in 76. Rudy would eventually come to Boston. But Raleigh Fingers probably pitches them to a World Series in 77. Pitch to Jensen. Up the middle, Carrascal by the bag at 2nd, 1 out. Stanley would have hated Fingers. You know, the thing with Stanley, I've said this before, Pearsall 2 for 3, cleared the bases with a double in the first, and eventually would score. Stanley, his ideal role would have been a 4th or 5th starter. He'd get you 6 innings every time out. You know, 6-inning starter, earned run average 4, 4.5, a 10-10 record. Who wouldn't want that? We're not bunting. Come on. Pitch to Pearsall, up the middle. Chico has it in front of the bag, throws towards for the out. Oh, it was just Cash? That's probably why. Yeah, I think if Fingers is on the Red Sox, they don't win it in 76. That team, I think, struggled mightily. Sammy White 1 for 3, a single and RBI. Vida Blue to the Yankees was also next, Bobby tells me. I don't think the Yankees beat the Red. I'm of the firm conviction, I don't know if John's still here or not, that the 76 Reds were better than the 75 Reds. Not just because they swept the Yankees in the World Series. They didn't lose a game that postseason. They went 7-0. White 1 for 3. Sammy has an RBI and a single. 2 out, top of the 8th, and he strikes out. So Wynn is through 8. He got him to look at a 71-mile-an-hour crap ball to do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 8, 5-3 Boston. Blue would have been, I think, a better pitcher in New York than Catfish Hunter. But give Steinbrenner credit for opening up the checkbook to make free agency happen. Hal Narragon is 0 for 2 with a walk. Sullivan starts the 8th. Ground ball past Goodman for a base hit. So Carrasquel, the tying run. Chico 1 for 3 today with a single, and we'll see what the computer does with early win. You gave up Eckersley for Fred Kendall. Ugh. Red Sox got the better of that. And I think that later on, the Cubs and Red Sox have had it pretty equal. Eckersley for Buckner? Yeah, you do that. $1 million each and Blue to the Yankees for $1 million. Yep, that's why it was. They were sold. John says, wholeheartedly agree. 75 Reds struggled before getting their strike. Yeah. It's just kind of like the 73 Dolphins, the 76 Reds. I'm sure you can come up with some other examples in other sports. Not as famous as what they're best known for, but on paper, I think that they were better. Pitch to Carrasquel. Fly ball, left field. It's going to hook out of play because Chico doesn't have a lot of power. And an empty seat made that catch, and it's a 2-2 count. Oh, Rick Wise and Bo Diaz, too. Diaz wasn't bad. Wasn't Dennis Eckersley, but he wasn't bad. So 2-2. The count to Chico. That's a hard ground ball to Budden. Goodman for 1, Vernon for 2. They turn it. 6-4-3. We go. Oh, there's 2 out, nobody on. Because I'm paying attention. Early win, by the way, is 2 doubles today. He's 9 on the year. He drove home the 6th and scored his 11th run. It's funny that you were talking about the A's and trades that were nixed on. Oh, what? Well, you know, David, we've been doing this for 7 years. There's only so much you can talk about. It wasn't until the Reds moved Rose to third and inserted Foster in the left of the. So how far along in that season was it? Because the legend is that the 75 Reds were loaded for bear and all that. And you kind of wonder, if it wasn't for Ed Armbrister, would they have won the World Series? Wise was a good hitting pitcher. I think he hit a home run. He threw the no-hitter for Pittsburgh, or for Philadelphia. Yep. So Andy answered Greg's question. The Wayne Garland signing. It's like signing Madonna in her 60s to an album contract. Pitched be Preston Ward. You don't think so? Yeah, he did. It was first year at the vet. So Preston Ward, 217 with 2 RBI as a pinch hitter, and the winner of the Red Sox lookalike contest for 1956, hitting .254, 3 homers and 14 RBI. John Vukovich was the Red starting third baseman in 1975. Oof. Ward, nobody on, fly ball, right center. Jensen will track over, make the catch, and we go to the 9th. Art Hauptman coming in to pitch for Cleveland. Red Sox 5, Indians 3. Garland was like $1 million spread out over 10 years, so kind of like if you'd hit Publishers Clearinghouse. He was an annuity you didn't want to have happen. Hauptman, the winner of the Rory McIlroy look-alike contest for 1956, 29 years old, fastball at 86, fly ball pitcher, 15th appearance, as we said, 1-0, or 1-4 rather, with a 4.50 ERA. Last pitch of the 29th against Baltimore in a 7-5 loss. He took the loss. 2 innings, 28 pitches, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and a walk. Hauptman, 28 innings, 25 hits, 18 runs, 14 of them earned, a home run. He has walked 16 and struck out 13. Budden 0 for 3. We'll see about Sully and then Goodman. New digital dice up. Dave and Vinny Mancini talk about long play games. Give that a listen. Budden is 0 for 3. Popped up left side. That's going to hook foul as Chico jogs to give it a case. It has rained all the way through, by the way, but not hard enough to put the tarp on the field. A hot day in Cleveland this August 4th, 88 degrees. In Vinny Gray, yeah. Wise hit 2 home runs in that game. And the Phillies were not a good team. First year at the vet, and they had those oversized numbers, no names on the back. Pitch to Budden. Don swings. Second verse here is going to be the same as the first. Another empty seat, another souvenir. Stay tuned after the game. I'll tell you what we're doing next week. And he drew the walk. Well fought off by Budden. He fouled off a couple pitches and then drew the walk. All right, who we got on the bench? Let's see, who can hit a righty? It's going to be Norm Zouchin. Red Sox gambling here that we can get a run and give the bench, give the bullpen an extra run here. Zouchin, as a pinch hitter, 318, a home run and 2 RBI. Overall, 215, a homer and 4 RBI. Hauptman deals. That's a base hit, right center field. Colavito will cut it off and misplay it. Budden around third will hold. It's a single and an error. And now you bring up Billy Goodman, who is 0 for 3 with a walk. So the Red Sox, 2 in scoring position and nobody out. Hauptman will walk Goodman. Interesting, because there's nobody out. You are going to bring the infield halfway for Billy Klaus. Look at that on-base percentage. So Hauptman, who walks a lot of batters, Klaus 1 for 3. And he draws a fair amount of walks, too. He also has a double. He's walked once and scored a run. So Budden on third, Zouchin on second, Goodman on first. Red Sox trying to put this away. Don't pop your peas. Popped up, Woodling. That's going to be pretty shallow. Let's see what they give me for odds. Gene makes the catch. Budden will go. Going to tag and score, or try to. Woodling throw the plate. In time! They got him. A great play from Woodling and an even better throw. And it stays a 5-3 game. That's the good news if you're an Indian fan. The bad news is, here's Ted Williams. He's loaded for bear. He is 0 for 2. He has an RBI, his 49th, and he's walked twice. Once intentionally. The wifey is going to go to the bank. All right, talk to you in a minute. Bye. Let's see my messages here. My phone beeps. No, I don't want that. I didn't hit that. I didn't hit that. Never mind. Oh, it's for the wife. So 2 out for Ted Williams. 0 for 2. Has walked twice and driven in a run. Pitch to Teddy Ballgame. Fly ball, right field. That will not score anybody. Colavito will make the catch. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Red Sox threaten but do not score. No runs, a hit, and 1 error. After 8.5, 5-3 Boston. So, no, Ted Williams is not going to pitch. It'll be Ike DeLocke. DeLocke, 4-9 with a 4.85 ERA. 27th appearance. He has started his last game of the year, 5 saves. 27 years old, fastball at 93, fly ball pitcher. Yep, you text her about the other part too, Sarah. Love you too. Picked up the save on the 30th of July. 1 inning and a 7-4 win over Detroit. 25 pitches and a walk. 81 2/3, 78 hits, 47 runs, 44 earned, 8 homers. He's walked 52 and struck out 60. Top of the lineup for Cleveland, 2 to tie, 3 to win. Bobby Avila is 2 for 4 today. He has singled twice and driven in a run. And Kenny Keene, or Kuhn, who is hitting .063 as a pinch hitter, 1 for 16 overall, and 3 runs scored. Into center, Pearsall, 1 out. For Woodling, hitting 0 for 2 today with 2 walks. DeLocke deals. Woodling up the middle, base hit. So the tying run will face DeLocke here in the 9th with 1 out. And that is Al Smith, who is overdue. His misplay allowed 4 runs to score in the first. He has a walk and 2 strikeouts. He is 0 for 3. DeLocke getting rained on this hot, sticky day in Cleveland. Line drive to Klaus, 2 out. So Woodling goes back. Last chance saloon is Vic Wirtz. 0 for 3 with a walk. DeLocke is ready. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Boston. They've left on 7. Big win if Boston can pull this out. Pitch to Wirtz, struck him out, and they do. Red Sox aren't quite done yet. 5-3 the final in 2 hours and 20 fake minutes. So 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Boston. They leave on 7. Jimmy Pearsall and that bases clearing double in the first. That's your digital dice MVP. 3 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors for Cleveland. They left on 10. Red Sox go to 52 and 49. Cleveland falls to 56 and 44. Sullivan is a 15-game winner. He goes to 15-4, 8 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned. The Colavito homer doesn't hurt. He walked 6 and struck out 3. Could have thrown another inning, but didn't need to. Ike DeLocke picks up his 6th save, a hit, a strikeout in his inning. Early win, despite, by the way, hitting 2 doubles. Takes a loss. He's 14-8 now. 8 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs. The Smith error was costly. 4 unearned runs. He walked 5 and struck out 3. And Howdeman worked out of trouble in the 9th. So at the moment, Cleveland falls to 2 back. The rest of this Saturday in baseball, and then we'll tell you what we're doing next week. The Dodgers have won 72 out of 100. Carl Erskine throws a 2-hitter. You don't want to be peaking in August, but my goodness. Oh my God, I've got half a thing to read here. 1 earned run and a walk in a 3-2 win. He goes to 14-2. Lindy McDaniel takes a loss, 1-6. Duke Snyder, we talked about him earlier, 2 for 3. It's his 41st and a double. Yankees outlast the Tigers 10-9. Detroit 5 errors, and Ray Boone had 4 hits. Turnley goes to 5-4. Virgil Trucks gets the loss. He's 10-3. Mickey Mantle hits his 36th, 2 for 3 and 2 RBI. Milwaukee beat Pittsburgh 3-1, but Milwaukee's just treading water. Bob Buell goes to 9-7. Howie Pullet 1-1. Hank Aaron catching fire now, but again they're 14 out. 3 for 5, a double and a triple. Cincinnati over Philly 4-1 in the Midlife Crisis Bowl. Fowler goes to 9-9. Robin Roberts 7-13. Bailey 2 for 4, hits his 17th of the year. I'm trying to catch up on where I got to read here. New York beats the Cubs 3-2 at the Polo Grounds. Hoyt Wilhelm 4-6. Hughes falls to 1-5. Castleman 1 for 3, hits his 7th. The White Sox behind Jack Harshman's 3-hitter. Shut out Baltimore 6-0. Harshman a 10-game winner. White falls to 6-8. Moss 2 for 3, hits his 3rd and drives in 2. Washington beats Kansas City in a game that someone had to win. Ramos 8-4. Burnett falls to 1-3. Gus Zernial 16th of the year, 1 for 1 with 2 RBI. So the standings as we hit this first full week of August: the Dodgers up 14, the White Sox a 1.5 on Detroit, 2.5 on Cleveland, and 4.5 on New York. Our schedule for next week, it'll be the White Sox and the Indians Monday. Tentatively scheduled Cincinnati and Milwaukee on Wednesday. And we'll see on Thursday. Milwaukee at Orange Spawn. So we might get some National League games in. So that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great weekend. I think they can peak too early. You know, you just kind of wonder. The only good thing is that they're going to play their regulars all the way through. That team is going to win 108 games. Absolutely. All right. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Try not to meet strangers in parking garages that you meet on the internet. So long, everybody.